The Who. Looning Moon. The Who, caught in action during their American tour, now mostly confine their frantic activity to the stage, no more offstage looning. Now they are into solo albums, production, film work, and writing. Things are never really quiet with The Who, a group celebrated for its collective roaring around, generally termed looning by experts in the field. Drummer Keith Moon has been christened Arch Looner for some very solid reasons. However, the last 6 months have been a period of assessment for the group, who just came off some incredible success statistics with Tommy and the Live at Leeds albums. Moon went into a little record producing, mainly with his friend and looning companion, Viv Stanshall Smith, the ex-leader of the Bonzo Dog Band, formerly known as the Bonzo Dog Doo-Dah Band. Entwistle brought out a macabre first solo album. Daltrey went into the country, and Pete turned to writing material for a film, not a film version of Tommy, that looks as if it has been temporarily shelved because the Who are really getting interested and into the film version of Tommy, having hired Joseph Strick to produce it. The Who prefer to let the film come out and then start thinking about presenting the full-scale Tommy opera on Broadway. And Bob Pridden, road manager for The Who, a super roadie in fact, went and got married, a very posh affair, attended by The Who and 400 other guests at Exton Park, Oakham, in Rutland, the smallest county in England. He married Lady Maria Noel, the daughter of the Earl of Gainsborough, one of England's oldest and heavily titled families. Bob doesn't get a title himself, however. Also, The Who started thinking, in this quiet period, about a new act because the Live at Leeds revealed all regarding stage work, and they felt they couldn't keep on going with Tommy night after night. Pete Townsend remarked that he roared with laughter when he learned that 10 years after, Who had gone through a similar period of rethinking, came back after a layoff without their promised new act, with almost no revision. Then Pete reflected soberly that it would probably happen to The Who as well, because he reckons that all audiences want to hear are a group's proven successes. Moon proved himself busy, although quieter. He joined the rest of the group in New York for what were termed business discussions, and then split to the West Coast to stay with John Sebastian. So impressed was he with Sebastian's passion for tie-dyeing everything, and I mean everything, that Moon arrived back at London Airport with a complete tie-dye wardrobe, tie-dyed even down to his sneakers from head to foot. Even Chalky, who acts as Moon's driver, because the drummer has no license, had been caught up in the tie-dye business. An odd couple indeed. Moon also managed to get himself a gig in the Frank Zappa film that was made, or at least started, in London. Moon, with inspired casting, played a nun. Moon is a great believer in getting there. Pete Townsend received a message from Moon in Germany. Moon wanted Pete to meet him when he got in at London Airport. Pete arrived, a little curious because the time of Moon's arrival was long after normal scheduled flights between Hamburg and London. A 707 jet arrived, the flight steps were run up, the door opened, and out stepped Moon, the solitary passenger. He had the time mixed up, thought he was late for a gig, and chartered the massive jet. He did it once before, following his 21st birthday party, when The Who were on their first American tour, with Peter Noon, aka Herman, and his Hermits. Moon ended up with a broken tooth that delayed him, and he hired a jet to take him to the next concert in Atlantic City. As soon as he'd paid the hotel bill, which included a new carpet, the 2 birthday cakes slipped, and draining the swimming pool, glass in the deep end. That trip from Flint, Michigan cost him over $5,000, and this was at a time when they could ill afford it, being their first tour, and with the group being into breaking their equipment on stage every night. But Moon's looning is quieter of late, and a little less expensive. There are outbreaks, of course, such as dining on their last tour in a restaurant that directly overlooked the Ohio River, 60 feet below the restaurant windows, in all its pollution. The subject of superstardom came up, and Moon, stating flatly, "I'll show you who's a superstar," ran across the dining room, out the window and into the river, with no hesitation. He seemed content that a point had been proved.